Yeah, can you go ahead and just tell me like where are you at right now in your meditation journey? What's going on with you?
I can feel the effect immediately. Like for me, I'm a more physical person, so I feel it on a physical level. I find more energy to achieve my uh, immediate personal fitness goal. Like I have more patience with my working out routine. I have I get to work out more and still have enough energy to do more things within the day, and immediately feel refreshed the next day. Like my tiredness wouldn't last for more than one day. Also, it's easier for me to like my social anxiety actually gets way lower.
Mm,
When I go out, I feel firstly protected in terms of energy, right? I don't feel like I'm entering a dangerous place like I used to think before. Like whenever I enter a space, I feel confident enough that nothing can affect me, no bad vibe can affect me. I get home and I still feel, like even when I come to contact with maybe people that I don't have a good experience with, normally, like before, it gave me this sort of like a low mood. But nowadays, it's easier for me to let go of that kind of, heavy feeling. It's easier for me to forgive other person and let go of all the, minor trivial trouble that it happen once in a while if you operate in a big community and stuff like that. So yeah, those are.
great. So there's been a lot of changes for you, right? Just to recap, you said that it's helped you stay more motivated in the gym. It's given you more confidence and more focus towards what you're working on, and it's helped you to kind of like deal with different things like social anxiety and like dealing with conflict.
Like when I started this journey, I just hope that I get better sleep. Like I was in kind of a low dark place at that time, so I just wanted to get out of it. But I achieved more than that. Like I got this newfound source of energy that not only I sleep better, but I mean, in a way, it made me feel more lively and
Mm,
feel more like the life around me become less boring, because like I have like depression stuff before. So now the world is more colorful. Like I don't know, is when I go outside, people just appear more energetic, more friendly. Yeah, like everything look more complicated in a good way. Like they have many aspects. I feel like it's interesting to explore. Yeah,
like
instead of
more,
thinking as a flat like before, like a flat.
like not more complicated, but more complex, like
Yeah, more
more
complex.
connected, complex,
Mm,
nuanced.
nuance, exactly. Nuance is the word. Nuance in the word. Yeah.
Like before, you might not stop and look at the clouds, but now you're like, oh, like like oh wow.
And especially it's very enjoyable to think in terms of energy, because when I practice your meditation, is the sensitivity for energy increase. So nowadays it's very quick for me to retrieve the positive energy whenever I need. Like if I go to the park, immediately I get attracted to things that emit positive energy instead of get sucked in something that is negative.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. And because like outside world, so it's a mix of the two. So for me now, I feel like I attract more positive energy. I know how to look for the positive energy to keep the positive energy. Yeah.
mm, beautiful. So you've tried many different like kinds of meditation, right? How would you say this, what you do with me compares?
Compared to other meditation, I would say this feel very immediate. I don't know why. So maybe that's why sometimes I'm lazy with that because it's just so immediate. Like every time you do, you don't feel like, or just because I don't do it for a long time, I lose it. Of course, this is sound like I'm encouraging laziness, but what I mean is that it always works. That's why I don't feel anxious if I miss out on it. But whenever I get to do it, I feel excited. Like
Mm,
I have trust in it because every time I do it, it works. For other kind of meditation, is like if you don't do it for a few days or whatever, you get back and then like there's some problem. In my personal experience, that's it. Like personally for me. So for your method, it works all the time. Like even
mm,
on the day when my mind is very messy, of course it's not 100% a successful meditation, but I still get a benefit from that. It's always, there's always an outcome. Yeah.
mm.
Yeah.
So it feels lighter, easier to access, and like less pressure. I think a lot of people put a lot of pressure, like I have to be thoughtless, and it's like, okay, my meditation wasn't perfect, but I can feel the energy, and I think that is what is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So how would you describe meditating before and after this?
So before that, my impression about meditation is to think about nothing, which is very difficult for a person with active mind like me, and a visual thinker. So it's just like, how do you think about emptiness, right? Because that thing is, it doesn't exist in my definition. But when I learn your meditation program, meditation become more lively, actually very colorful in my experience, because you have on this it's kind of like a visualization situation when you put your focus in the different area of your body. And the thing is that it work immediately, like I can feel it. Not like the moment I see it visually, I can feel it energetically. I don't know
Mm.
how that work on a like spiritual or scientific level, but it immediately fill me with energy. So that is all I'm asking for. Like,
Mm.
yeah.
So a lot of people have this question of like, what are you supposed to be experiencing? How do you know when you're in meditation? And I always say, like, you can't know really until you get there. When you get there, you'll know. But I'm just curious if you could try to describe maybe those moments when you're like, wow, I'm really in meditation.
More like a expanding, like your body is air, and then it expand, and then you don't really feel like your body melt into the surrounding, like your body emit light, sort of thing. Yeah. And it's also and when I was in deep meditation with you, it feel like we it feel like my mind is downloading something that I cannot put it in word yet, but it appear in my head. It like flashes of image that too quick that I cannot tell what it is. But after the whole thing, even though it feel like downloading, but after the whole thing, I feel like it take away my heaviness. Like I take in something, but in return, I get to throw away a lot of things that weighed me down and stuff like that.
How about the amount of thinking? Do you recognize a difference in the amount of thinking when you're in meditation?
The amount of thinking, I would say, like when I meditate, the amount of thinking is less, but very centered. Like I I feel more focused, like single-minded is the word. single-minded in like I can think a lot, but it's focused on the issue at hand, the reality of
Right.
me, not anyone else reality. Because like before I'm busybody, I concern about other people's business, but since I meditate, I feel like things, my perspective is more about my reality. That means I'm being more realistic with myself, yeah, instead of thinking of all these imaginative
Right.
that are not true.
Because I think when people try to sit and then they feel intrusive thoughts feel like they don't belong, like they're not yours, like they shouldn't be there. You get that sense. And so it's not that like your thoughts disappear completely. Now there are moments, I'm sure there are meditations for me where I have no thoughts, but it's more that the thinking becomes much more aligned, right? And it sounds like what you were describing on a physical level is the experience of flow.
Basically, that is it. I would say the clarity to things. You don't have to empty your well, because I mean we are normal human being, live in normal life. You're gonna have all this thing, right? But just the clarity of knowing what is what, I think is the great benefit. It's like
So what is one of the most surprising things this process has taught you about yourself?
to know literally my capacity of like what kind of thing that I store in my body is now come out, and I immediately have a way to clear it. Like the thing about forgiving other people and then forgiving myself. And now whenever I feel heaviness in certain area, I I I have the tool to go back and refer into my experience, like have I still holding grudge against some other person? Am I too self-critical at this moment and it is harmful? So in a way it helped me to reflect better on my experience. It helped me to see things in terms of forgiveness and like the wanting everyone to be better. Yeah, it's helped me to think beyond myself. Like me now, I feel more connected to people energetically. Like I'm an introvert, I don't go out much, I don't talk to people, but like through meditation, I feel like if I'm doing this for myself, maybe I'm contributing to a collective energetically. Yeah.
Yeah, so it taught you a lot about the power of releasing, of letting go, and that experience of expansiveness and lightness requires a bit of letting go, and helps you to see, what things you were maybe holding on to, whether they were like stories or experiences or whatever it is, and help you to release.
Yeah.
Yeah, so congratulations on all of that. Who would you recommend working with me for, and why?
Probably the people I think can use a lot of your help is people who feel like they are not enough. So I don't know what's your purpose of coming to meditation or stuff like that, but what I think they can gain a lot from your program is self-confidence, self-reliance, because it's I feel like if you can help them to see their rich inner world in a way, so people who feel like they don't have enough energy, it's hard to motivate themselves. um, I think they can also use your course a lot. So yeah. So for the spiritual people, I would say it's for people who's looking to explore more in terms of energy work, they can work with you, because I feel like you're very good at leading people to the right path, to examine how they approach the energy stuff, instead of, you know, like result, like you have to do this, you have to do that. You're very open-minded to different ways of working with energy. So people who trying to work with energy. And who else? I feel like anyone anyone can benefit in one way or another from meditation.
Right. Everyone needs
Yeah.
meditation, to be
Yeah,
real.
and
But
then
this
you're a good teacher. You're a good
Huh?
teacher. You are a good teacher. So like, even if this is an online class, like today is the first online class I took with you, I still feel like it's no different from physical class.
That's good to
So
know.
like, maybe for people who don't get to, you know, like who live in an area that is difficult to have access to physical class in their neighborhood, an online class with you just be as good. So
Yeah. Okay, great.
probably my message to people who you know, maybe who just explore this territory, is to always keep an open mind, so that you can see past your personal bias and get the immediate effect of things, because it's always there. It's just your choice to get it or not. So yeah, sometimes if you have doubt, you kind of block away from. It's like, of course, sometimes I have doubt, you know, because it's my money. I have the right to question you. But it's
Yeah.
like, in the end of the day, lucky for me, I can feel the effect. So I be like, if there's an effect, then I think it's worth it. This is what I'm looking for, and now I'm getting it. So I'm satisfied with it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone has doubts, I mean, I'm the real deal. Let's be real. Like, I know
Yeah.
how to definitely get people to really actually feel something. So
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah. All right.